Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is one of your hosts, Tyson Roush. And, of course, we have a jam-packed show for you following a Thursday night loss to the Baltimore Ravens. So let me introduce the man of the people, Long Beach Show. What's up, man?
What's going on, Ty? Man, you know, we tried our best, but the Ravens just – that team is something else, and they got one hell of a quarterback over there. But, you know, we're going to get into it. We're going to cover what happened, and we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff going on in this game. So listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave us some feedback. We love hearing about you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. So without further ado, Ty, let's go ahead and get into the show, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up, too. So, as always, we're on Instagram and Twitter at Talk Jets Radio. We're on YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio. We appreciate everybody takes time to interact with us, subscribe, and comment, and everything else. Super cool. We're having a lot of fun doing it. And thank you to everybody that called in on Tuesday, too. It was probably one of the wildest shows we've had in a while. That's been a good time. I guess going into this game, Joe, it's like the expectations for pretty much everybody was the Jets were going to get steamrolled, and it was going to be an ass-kicking and this, that, and everything else for a variety of issues. Just the talent, you know, there's so much more talent in Baltimore than is with the Jets. They're better coached. There's a variety of factors. And as the game played out, I, to be honest with you, I was almost pleasantly surprised that the Jets played as well as they did. Like, they were competitive. They fought. They left several points on the field, especially in the first half. They probably left 10 points on the field, which completely changes the game. They had some bad breaks with penalties that weren't called, with reviews that weren't reviewed. Like, to be honest with you, I don't understand any facet of officiating. I don't understand the reviews. I don't understand football, to be honest with you. Like, I don't understand pass interference. I don't understand reviews. When you see, like, dude, when you see a ball hit a leg and they say the ball didn't hit the leg, I don't understand. When you see pass interference that was called last week, like just last week we saw it, and this week it's not called. Like, I don't understand it, but to me, dude, like, it's very easy to say, oh, they got blown out and this and that. And to me, it was like, to be completely honest, the game was a lot closer than the score. The Jets, they made some mistakes, but they left a lot of points on the field. They had plenty of opportunities to make the game even closer than it was. And it's just, you know, good teams find a way to win, and bad teams find a way to lose.
Well, you know, I don't, you know. I'll start with there was some bad calls. Like you said, that ball I thought clearly hit the dude. Like, it was plain as day to me that it hit the Ravens player, but I don't understand why we didn't get that call, that pass interference call.
That Jonathan Harrison call was horrendous.
Yeah, I was just about to go back to talk about that. What was that? Like the crackback call, illegal block, whatever it was. Call. He was in the pocket. A blindside block. Like, what? How do you call that if he's still in the pocket and he's coming back to protect his quarterback? So then how exactly is he supposed to block that guy? I didn't understand that either. But honestly, outside of that, look, you can say we came out and fought, and we did. The team did come out. They didn't look lost or lethargic coming out. But honestly, the Ravens, they were just on another level, man. You could see it. Like, they were playing at a completely different speed than we were, and it was as clear as day. I think we had issues really stopping the run game. In more particular, the mobility of Lamar Jackson, which, I mean, hell, barely anybody can stop in the league. So I wasn't, like, too surprised. But we kept getting scorched by that, and then they worked off of that. That's what really got us worked over in this game. I thought the first half we looked decent, but to me, where it really kind of fell apart was coming out in the second half. I thought that we fell apart offensively in the second half. I didn't think the game plan, there was next to no adjustments, and that's when they really synced in. For me, defensively, I was looking at us. I was wondering what was going on out there at times. There were so many blown coverages where there were guys from the Ravens wide receivers and tight ends at times were just running through our secondary wide open. How many times was Boyle or Andrews or I forgot Hurst, I think is the other name of the other guy. They were just wide open. just running. Lamar Jackson missed one of them. I think it was Andrews. He missed wide open. There was nobody within like 20 yards of this dude. Roberts was getting cooked. There was just a lot of issues I saw defensively yesterday. I mean, just outside of the run stuff, which is already tough to stop, where it just seems like our defense just did not know what was going on out there, and guys just missed assignments consistently. So, you know, it's a tough loss. You know, the offense I thought looked okay. I thought Sam played all right. There were some throws I think that he should have been able to make that he didn't make. That interception right before the half I thought was a really tough one, especially I think it was just a miscommunication with the tight end. Because I think if he would have ran the route that Sam thought, I think Sam would have hit him. But still, Sam shouldn't have, you know, made that throw. That sack strip fumble was tough. But you know, this is a good Ravens team, a great Ravens team. They have a ton of talent and they have a lot of stuff going on. And like you said, and I think that's the bigger emphasis is, hey, they're a much better coach than we are. And it was as clear as day out there. Just aside from the talent, you just saw the adjustments and the glaring issues that we have here, coaching-wise, in particular with adjustments. So it kind of is what it is, and I don't think anyone really predicted anything else other than this.
Yeah, and the whole thing, it's like, you know, for me, I expected the defense to struggle because, like you said, nobody's been stopping Baltimore. I mean, Buffalo and San Francisco did that because they have elite-level defenses. But when you add in all the injuries in our second, the secondary injuries are big, especially Jamal Adams being out. Like, you almost wish Jamal Adams would have played and see how this game played out, especially defensively, because he's such a game-breaking player. But on offense, my whole goal was, you know, first get Sam out of the game healthy and see him be productive. Don't see ghosts. Don't do this. And he did that. Like they were productive. You know, like there were certain things you saw where it's like, wow, the offensive line blocked. Le'Veon Bell was running. They got Crowder involved. Sam wasn't seeing ghosts. He took a bad sack and a couple bad throws. The interception was dreadful. But there was things where you're like, you know what? Like you almost saw some growth. You're like, you know what? This is a good game for him. Where like he's facing a top level team. He's under duress in a hostile environment, and he's holding his own. He's making some big time plays. And like that was like for me, that was progress. Like wow, like I didn't expect any of that. I thought he'd be a deer in headlights, getting sacked every other play, and they're going to get mauled. And you know they had opportunities. Like it I don't walk out like you know after the game. I saw all this outrage and this sucks and that sucks. Listen, losing sucks. But we all expected it. We are not. The Baltimore Ravens are arguably the best team in football. So you take that on a short week in their building. I expected nothing out of this game. But then I walked away with some positives, like, wow, like the offensive line actually could run block. They actually run block better than they pass block. To the fact that even Le'Veon Bell was getting carries and getting like 5 yards of carry at some point. It was like there's little things, Joe, where it's like, listen, if we're gonna rip Gase and everybody for not showing up in Cincinnati and not doing all these, they played a full 4 quarters. Special teams was excellent, minus the lousy kicker, who he should be cut today. Like I'm done with Ficken. You have 2 more weeks. Get him out of here and find somebody else. He's not going to be here next year. So why? There's no reason to keep him here. Seriously, why have him here? He's not going to be the kicker next year. So whoever you bring in, give him a 2-game audition for next year. There's no reason to keep him. He's terrible. I'm tired of seeing him point after. It's like, God damn already.
Look, I hear you, but I mean, he just kicked the game winner last week. Everybody,
who cares? How many freaking kicks are we going to miss, dude?
Look, I hear you. But, you know, we had issues with kickers coming into this season. You know, we cycled through a ton of them. We got a couple games left. I mean, he's as up and down, you know, kind of as it gets, but it's whatever on that side. Because like you said, outside of him, I thought the special teams unit played pretty solidly. But what I want to get back to the, you know, the outrage and the anger that you said, you know, came from a lot of fans and the vitriol for Gase. I think this is kind of a cumulative effect. People are tired of seeing the exact same thing in every game, no matter who we play. Have you noticed that pretty much in every game we come out in the second half and completely fall apart because there's no adjustments? I think people are tired of seeing that. They're also tired of seeing his lack of awareness in game management. The 3rd and short call where he the fourth down call when he chucked the ball, when the play call there in the red zone, I thought was bad. You know, the call where he punts it. I think he punted on 4th down, and then he goes and tries to kick an onside kick the next time. It was just stuff like that is ridiculous, and people are just tired of seeing it. They're tired of seeing the same thing out of this coach. They're over it. And so I understand the anger, and that's why when, I even said myself, it's time for us to move on from him, even though I know he's going to be here in 2020 because Chris Johnson already said it. It's, people are just fed up because let me tell you something. I know we're going to talk about this stuff in the off season, but next year's schedule, if it pans the way it's looking,
I don't care. I don't care.
We're gonna play.
That's such an overrated thing. Like that. That's like the new thing on Twitter. Everybody talks about next year's schedule. We have no idea what happens in the off season. We have no idea what happens with injuries. We have no idea what happens with all these things. Every year there's surprises. So I don't care about next year's schedule. Like it's such a stupid comment from people. It's going to be so hard. Everything's so hard.
Look,
everything's so hard.
Saying,
always, everything's so hard.
The way it's looking.
This year too. How'd that work out?
Listen, the way that it's looking, we're going to play a lot of tough teams next year, and there's going to be no excuses for him, at all. He's going to be facing, teams week after week where he's going to have to put it together, and we'll see what happens this coming off season. We'll see how these teams look, but right now it's looking, like it's going to be very competitive next year, and we need to be there. But if you can consistently keep seeing the same thing out of this coach, but there's a lack of adjustments, there's a lack of stuff that's going on out there as far as him, then I understand the anger coming from these fans.
Yeah, listen. I don't like Gase. I thought he's been fired a couple weeks ago, but at this point, like last night's game, I didn't walk out of that game like, oh man, he's got to be fired immediately. They played better than I thought they were going to play. To be honest with you, all things considered, everything they had to deal with, they played better than I thought they were going to play. They did. The offense looked actually good at times. You're like, wow, like who the hell are these guys? Like you're finally using Jamison Crowder. Le'Veon Bell looked like his old Le'Veon Bell. Like all these things. I'm like, where the hell has this been all year? Or are they finally actually learning? Like is Sam Darnold actually progressing, actually learning some things?
Even in this game, though, Tyson, and I hear what you're saying, but even in this game, there were times we should have kept feeding Crowder, and we went away from him at times in this game, particularly coming out in the second half. We went away from these guys that were working. Why are we calling plays for that? A tight end that we just signed off the practice? Why are we doing that? Why are we running plays for Smith? Why are we doing that? We should be getting guys involved that are our playmakers, like Crowder. Robbie had a good night. Why are we calling more plays for him? That's where I think the anger is coming from. So that's what I'm saying. I completely understand why they're upset, because the little offensive talent that we do have, let's maximize that. Let's continue to put the ball in the hands of the guys that are making plays out here. That's what every other team that's successful offensively in the NFL does. That's what the Ravens do. The Ravens consistently put the ball in the hands of their playmakers. They keep the ball in the hands of Lamar Jackson because, look how dynamic he is. They run plays for this guy. They keep the ball in the hands of Ingram. Look how dynamic he is. They call plays for Andrew. They call plays for all these damn tight ends that they got that are really good. They keep putting the ball in the hands of their playmakers, and I don't think we do that consistently enough, especially, again, as strapped as we are offensively.
Cool. I'm not arguing about it. I'm just talking what I saw. I honestly don't have all that venom and anger towards Adam Gase. I just don't. The game went as expected. The Jets played better than I thought they were going to, and that's kind of really it. I didn't expect anything more. I thought Sam played better than I thought they would. The offensive line actually held their own, special teams, and the defense fell apart when I thought they would because the secondary is completely depleted. When you have guys that you're signing off the street or fifth string, and it's just that's why watching people make fun of Marcus May to me is ridiculous. The guy's out of position playing next to a guy that doesn't even play safety. At some point, for this game, when you're playing a top-level elite team, they're going to take care of every hole you have or look at every hole you have, and we have holes everywhere. And they're going to say, you know what, we're going to challenge you here because we know you can't cover it, where other teams can't do that. So you got exposed, and as you should have. And that's why the point spread was 17 points. You know what I mean? When you lose to the Bengals and you lose to the Dolphins, all that, then you say, listen, you're losing to bad teams. This is one of the best teams in football. This is no surprise. The anger here. And you know what the other funny thing is? I want to get your take on this because today I watched Jets Twitter today, and it was it's just a cesspool of idiots out there today. Now, what is your take after it is, dude? Listen, man, I understand everybody's miserable, and the Jets aren't going to the playoffs, and everybody hates Gase, and no matter what happens, we're going to blame everything on Gase, no matter what it is. I understand. Wow. Everything sucks. We all suck. Fire everybody, and everybody's incompetent. I get it. But now we're to the point where people need to understand that players treat this like a job. This is a job. And after their job, they're going to do whatever they want. Often after the game, the minute that final whistle blows, they run over to their buddy, they shake their hand, they high-five, they joke around, and they go out that guy after the game and go have beers and drinks and don't really care about the fans. The outrage about people getting Lamar Jackson's jersey after the game, the 4 or 5 players that did it, to me, I think is ludicrous. Dude, this happens after every game all across the NFL every Sunday. Everyone. Beckham, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, they all do it, dude. This is part of it. And to call the Jets a bunch of losers or quitters or wannabes or whatever else because they got Lamar Jackson's autograph after the game, I mean, if that's how seriously you take this, get a new hobby, man. You're taking this game way too seriously. Like, dude, they do this all the time. And listen, the fans can't listen. The fans at times care more than the players do because the players are going to get their game check and they're going to go about their business. Life moves on. They don't dwell for 5 days saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're 5-9." They don't care. They move on. Like this outrage over the jerseys, dude, is ridiculous.
It's crazy. You call people idiots and all this crazy stuff on here.
Because the one guy attacked me today. He's like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, actually, I do, because you watch every game on the team's social media, and you see players exchanging jerseys. So now they're attacking the organization, saying this team is a bunch of, like, wannabes, and they're quitters. No. There's nothing about that. Like, how do you go you're insulting Le'Veon Bell and Robbie Anderson because they got Lamar Jackson's autograph? They exchanged jerseys. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, this is the level of pettiness we're getting to. You're that miserable a person, you're going to pick on this now. Get a clue, man.
Listen, and that's how you feel. I look at it like this.
That's exactly how I feel.
Understand both. I can understand both perspectives because I've even heard former players talk about some of those things, about how they would have never, back in the day, would have never sat back and lost and went up to, whoever it was, Brett Favre or whoever great player was on the other team and said, hey, give me your jersey, sign it. They would have never have done that. I've heard other players, and not just in football, but other sports as well, kind of talk about how they don't like it either. But I understand why these players, it's a new time, it's a new day. Players in the NFL love to, let each other know, hey, you're a good player. I like you. They have no issue celebrating each other, particularly after the game is over. And Lamar Jackson is a super likable guy. Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard any guy in the league really talk negatively about him at all. It looks like all of them love him, embrace him, especially all the things that he's gone through, even before the draft and then during the draft being disrespected the way he was disrespected. And then, still taking the high road saying, hey, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make plays. Everyone's going to know my name soon enough. And look, he got it out the mud. I mean, this guy played his way into what he is right now, and he's one of the most electric players in the league right now. He's extremely talented. He's like people said, and I said it as well, during the draft, that I thought he was the second coming to Michael Vick, and he looks like he is. I mean, hell, even Michael Vick is talking about, that's one of his favorite players ever. So, I get it. I understand why some fans don't like it because of the optics of it. Maybe, hey, you beat me, let me have your jersey. You should be really looking to crush this guy the next time you play him. There should be animosity. There should be anger. You should never want to take his jersey. I kind of get that because as a fan, that's kind of how you feel. When the Patriots beat us, most fans are not going up to other Patriots fans and going, oh, let me shake your hand. We'll see you guys next year. Good luck in the playoffs. Like, that's not how it works, with our rivals, with people that we play. So I understand from that side, but I think fans of the team need to understand that this is a new time and a new day in the NFL. Players don't have any problem celebrating each other. So I don't have really an issue with it because I understand Lamar Jackson. I understand, how great he is and how much, other players look up to him. So I don't have any issue with it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson is the complete opposite of Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson doesn't do any endorsements, doesn't do any commercials. He doesn't do anything, dude. Like, he is first one in, last one out, does the right thing, talks about team, talks about Super Bowls, and that's it. Meanwhile, Mayfield's doing commercial after commercial, always about him, always in the headlines, and playing like trash. So it's like, listen, it's just the way it is, and it's just to see, like I had 4 or 5 people come after me today, like, dude, you're just, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that. Like, dude, this is a new, like you just said it yourself. This is the new age of the NFL. The days of the players hating each other, like, listen, you have heated rivals where in the playoffs or things like that, when you have, like, say, Ravens, Steelers, or even Jets, Patriots in the heyday when the Jets were actually competitive. That's bad blood. Like, they hate each other, things like this. something like this where you're playing against the best team in football, against a young, rising star in a game that everybody loves and respects, especially from his story, to get his jersey and swap it out and do this after the game, and it's like, dude, it's just remarkable that fans have this much anger to then belittle the players. Like and the funny thing is, they can belittle it when they come towards me. I don't see them tagging Le'Veon Bell, Robbie Anderson, these things, of course, because when you see them, you want to get their autograph. You know what I mean? It's just funny, dude. Like we're to this point now, we just hate everything and want to tear this organization apart. It's just crazy to me.
And that's another thing too as well. And I'm going to keep saying this tonight because I know we're going to talk about it throughout the show. But it's a lot of anger about this season as well. People are angry about how things have turned out. Okay, we got beat by the Ravens. They're a better football team. We got beat again. Pretty badly in prime time. So a lot of fans are embarrassed about that again because we haven't looked that great in prime time this year. But they're just angry about what's happened, what's going on, the losses, the losing to an 0-11 team, losing to a Dolphins team. Here's another loss. We're out the playoffs for another year. And again, we're already talking about what's going to be happening in the offseason. We're going to be talking about who we're going to be drafting yet again very soon. So, like I said, I understand the anger. I understand why they're upset, but they don't need to take it out on the Lamar Jackson and the jersey signing and stuff like that. They should just, let that be and leave that alone. But I understand the anger from the fans.
Yeah, but the same people that have all this hostility today are the same ones before the game mocking the team. We suck. We can't block. We can't do this. We're a laughingstock. Like, make up your mind. Like, if you knew the results going into the game, then why are you getting mad about it? Like, you should have expected this. And if you expected a complete disaster, in my opinion, it wasn't a disaster because you walk away with saying, you know what? I think Sam made some progress here. Sam actually showed me something where he faced a very good defense, and they actually moved the ball, where he's making better decisions. I mean, the interception was dreadful. I don't – it could be the wrong route, whatever it was. But, like, he made some throws. I mean, the touchdown pass to Crowder, you're like, holy cow, that's incredible. Like, and if you compare this game to the nightmare that was the Patriot game, it's night and day. Yes, just like listen, I never say they lost by 21 points. I completely get it, and I understand. Like, I hate losing too, but to me, I took some positive. Like, my biggest concern in the next 3 games is all about Sam Darnold. I want to see him not end the season as a dud, as just a lost quarterback. And dude, last night he held his own. He put his big boy pants on, took some big hits. The one pass he completed, he got cracked by Judon or whatever the hell his name is.
Man.
He got smoked. Completed the pass, got back up. Even looked like he talked some trash where he gave him a little head nod like, I'm still here. That's the kind of stuff I'm hoping for the next 3 games. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, okay, cool. Like we got something. Like that's the whole goal is see Sam develop the next 3 games.
Exactly. And we talked about this on the last show. It's something I want to see as well. I don't want to see him fall off a cliff. I'm a little bit worried if he keeps taking shots like he was taking in that game. But he took shots like that all year long. But I just think, again, I just think this fan base is just tired of losing and tired of seeing losses. And sometimes when you're in the forest, you can't really see the trees. You're just upset at everything that you kind of lose perspective of certain things. Because again, we've seen so many losses this year. People aren't saying, okay, well, look, we're not in the playoffs, but what does Sam look like? Can Sam kind of figure his way out through the season? How is he going to end the season? Is he going to look good, as the season closes? Is there something that he could take out of this season, towards the end of it, and take it into next season and continue to build upon it? So those are things that, we can all look at. But again, I understand the anger from the fan base. They're tired of losing. Okay, they're tired of it, especially when they.
Dude, I get it, but I'm saying like we can.
Hold on a second.
Well, everybody's tired of losing. I get it, but there's other things to talk about. I mean, it's like Robbie Anderson's a good example of Robbie Anderson. And I'm not going to give Gase credit for much. Robbie Anderson, Gase got on him saying, "Listen, you got to fight for balls more. You got to be more competitive." He basically called him out to where I was like, "Wow, like that's kind of bold." And dude, let's be honest, Robbie Anderson reacted to it. The last 3 or 4 weeks, he's fighting for balls. He's a better player. Like, he's becoming a much more explosive and physical receiver, which is what we've been wanting for a year.
Well, I think a lot of, hold on a second. Before Gase can call him out, but there was a lot of times during the season where Gase completely, lost him within the offensive game plan. So a lot of what was going on with Robbie wasn't necessarily Robbie's fault. Because Robbie had fought a little bit better for the, some balls in these last couple of games. You could argue that, yeah. but there was a lot of times that Gaze was not even calling his number for plays, and he was just out there. There was also a lot of times early where Robbie was running, and, again, the balls were not coming his way. So Robbie has looked very good. I will say that. I think that he's developed into a solid number 2. I don't think he's a number 1, but I do think he's a solid number 2 wide receiver, and he's a guy that we should look to re-sign, definitely. So I'm hoping that Joe Douglas, the front office, can get that deal done, even though we were looking to trade him before the trade deadline, so I don't know if he truly is in their future plans. I'm hoping that he is. But, yeah, Robbie's a bright spot that we can take away from this team, coming towards the end of the year. This is a guy that maybe if we pair him with somebody else, if he does resign, if we pair him with a true number 1 next season, maybe now we have a really, electric combo out there where that'll give Sam more options, more weapons, guys that he can go to, guys that he already has chemistry with that he can continue to build with. But, let's not act like Adam Gase has really come in here and just blown Robbie up from the very beginning and really helped him out. There was a lot of issues, particularly in the start of the season,
the last 3 or 4 weeks,
with Robbie and his
after he called him out on it, he's played more physical, going after balls, which he didn't do last year, and he didn't do this year either, the beginning of the year at least. So he's at least being more aggressive as a receiver, which is he had to be, because that's always been the bugaboo where he's just not a physical guy. But the other interesting story out of this game was, I'm surprised it's not getting more headlines today. I guess the beat writers are so worried about getting the jersey signed, is Troy Aikman basically calling out Le'Veon Bell for mailing in plays. And that I found fascinating. I thought that was just an interesting take where there were several plays where Le'Veon Bell doesn't run his route correctly, doesn't run hard, doesn't run his route hard. That to me was a bit surprising. That was something that I have not noticed, but I mean, Troy's an expert by further than I am. So what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was surprised about that. We watch the games consistently. To me, it looks like Le'Veon is really going out there giving his best effort. I don't think that Le'Veon has looked, like he's loafing this year at all. There were games that we were talking about. Hell, in that Browns game, remember that play that he made to help extend that drive and move the chains where there was like 3 guys hanging off of him, and he just stuck his foot in the ground, didn't quit, and was able to get a first down? He's made plays like that consistently throughout this year. Hell, that Cowboys game, he made a bunch of plays, too. That really helped us beat the Cowboys in that game. Without him, we probably don't win that game. To me, they were kind of surprising comments, but if that's how, Troy feels, and, he's a great player, then that's how he feels, and that's, what he spoke on. Maybe what he saw out there is, maybe it's true. Maybe it's since this issue that's gone on with Le'Veon, maybe since he's, going to be traded, or he already knows that, his time is up here. Maybe some people are looking at it and saying, maybe he's taking plays off because he feels like he's not going to be here anyway. There's nothing he could do, So I still think that Le'Veon's running hard. To me, when his number was called and they handed him the football out there, he was trying to do whatever he could. I think we could have used him a bit more in the passing game as well. We call his number for more plays in the passing game, but I don't think that he's loafing out there. I don't think that he looks like he doesn't give a damn or he's not giving effort.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised by that. And it was interesting because they talked about it this morning on WFAN, and Boomer Esiason said the same thing, that they were watching film over the last couple games, and they saw him where when he would run his routes outside, he wasn't running full speed, and that actually had an effect on Sam Darnold, where it's like, you expect him, if you sprint out wide, the defense kind of follows you, it attracts different coverage, and actually it broke it down where it's actually hurting Sam. And I'm like, this is the first I've heard of this. They get a chance to see all 22 and all the, we don't have access to that, and the TV, you can only see certain things, but I'm surprised it's not a bigger story today, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, and I'm kind of weirded out at the timing of that as well, because if you're saying that these last couple weeks, how come no one else has been talking about it? Because they aren't the only guys that have the access to all 22 either. You know what I mean? So that's why, I'm a little, I'm really skeptical of the media, the beat, all this stuff, since we've seen all the issues that we've seen this year where people have clearly been exposed for having agendas and all this other things. Look, if Le'Veon was loafing, if he truly was loafing, then he must have been loafing pretty much the whole year. No one has said anything. When we were getting ready to trade Le'Veon Bell, because they have access to the 22, but so do other teams. So other teams scout us. When he was talking about getting traded, there were tons of teams that called for him, including the Steelers. So if he's been loafing, and all those teams have been watching our tape trying to figure out if he's loafing or not, why are they calling for him? Why was there so much interest in him? And how come no one else has mentioned this except just now after the issues with him and Gaze and him coming out saying he don't believe that he's got enough opportunities? So I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that I'm a little skeptical of this here because of the timing of it. Because believe me, if Le'Veon loafing was a big deal, you don't think that the beat would have already been talking about that? That makes clicks in itself. You could just literally write a report saying, hey, there's, I have sources that believe that Le'Veon Bell is loafing, and here's why. Clicks galore. Why haven't we heard that? So, look.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Like I said, when I see Le'Veon running out there, to me, it looks like he's running hard. To me. So, that is what it is.
All right, we're going to go to Julio in Atlanta. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Man?
How's it going? What's on your mind?
For the first time. Well, I want to talk about this young dog I was just talking about.
Okay.
I think it's unlikely they're going to trade him this year, first of all. I'm a huge Jets fan. But it's unlikely they'll trade him. I think they're going to keep him one more year to see if he produces. So, man, I was at the game last night, and I just got back from Atlanta, from Baltimore. And I tell you what, the thing that I haven't talked yet is about when Sam Darnold cussed at Adam Gase.
Yep. Yeah, I mean there's some dispute. There's some dispute to what was said there, but to me that was something that you kind of want to see, where it's like Sam knows enough about the offense, enough to know about what's going on, where he's that level of frustrated, where he's like, dude, I know what's going on. Like, you could see, like, that to me was growth. I'm like, dude, finally, like, we have life out of Sam Darnold where he's becoming that fiery leader, where he's getting fed up and kind of going, matching wits with Gase. I mean, that was my take, Joe, where I was like, dude, that's perfect. That's what you want out of Sam Darnold.
Well, yeah, at the same time, though, I think you also, there's been a lot of dispute about what was said or what wasn't said. I mean, if you look at the reaction of Fales, though, it looked like whatever Sam said back, what didn't look too nice, you know what I mean? Because Fales' mouth just dropped open like, what? So I'm guessing whatever it was a not too nice reply to whatever Gaze was on him about, but to me, that frustration, depending on however they work that out, that could be something going on there. We've heard issues about guys in the locker room. We've heard issues that guys already have problems with Gaze there. So I'm a little worried about, what exactly happened there within that exchange. I don't know if we'll ever get the true story, but if that boils over to anything.
What I got out of that was that Sam wanted to run Le'Veon Bell, and Gates wanted to throw the ball, and when he threw the ball and missed that, 4th and 1, Sam was completely mad. As a matter of fact, Sam, in the second half, just turned it away like, I'm not hearing your play, I'm going to play my game. I don't care if we lose, but I'm going to play my game. I'm tired of your stuff.
Yeah,
That's how I felt it was.
I mean, I like to see, listen, that's going to be, like, you'll see, Tom Brady fights with Josh McDaniels. You see it all across the league where, offensive coordinators and the quarterbacks, they fight, they argue, they annoy each other. To me, it's like I was encouraged by that. I was like, listen, like, if he's getting to this point where he's becoming more vocal and more fiery and getting more animated, that's completely fine. Because what's going to happen is Adam Gase is going to open his eyes, he's going to be put on his toes, and he's going to get a lot more respect from his teammates as well. Where they're going to be like, listen, that's our quarterback. He's our leader. Like, they'll get a lot of buy-in now for doing stuff like that when he speaks out when he's, like, frustrated.
Yep. And, one receiver that I'm starting to like that we got, he's been doing good for the last 3 weeks, is that Vincent Smith. He had 3 reps for 40 yards. We could have used him more, too, with Crowder. And I think we would have put more points.
No, he's a big guy, fast guy. He's just got to be a little more consistent with his hands. But he's definitely been, especially when they use him with end arounds and running plays. So he's definitely a player, man. So where were your seats at last night, man? Good seats?
I was in the middle row, but it was okay. I got
that crowd was rocking,
Baltimore,
right?
So yeah. I tell you what, there was we were chanting New York Jets over there, Jets, every time they got on there. So there was a lot of Jets fans over there. We were all there, so it was good.
Well, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
All right, let's keep up the faith. We know we're gonna get Adam Gase out of there. I know Sam Darnold's getting mad at him, so it's almost that time. And you got to remember, Sam brought him there, so Sam can get him out.
That's true. Have a good night, man. You know, the one thing too is like you look at it was such a weird thing. It's like we get mad at Sam Darnold, we get frustrated, all this, and then you even said on Tuesday, Joe, and it kind of resonated with me. I'm like, dude, he's 22. Like, Joe Burrow is going to win the friggin' Heisman. He's 23. You know, like Sam's going to have 2 years of football in him, and this guy's winning the Heisman and coming out next year. So, or, you know, like, upcoming season. So, to see him do that with Gase and have that banter or whatever it was, to me, it's like, listen, dude, awesome. Like, bring it on. Bring on the confrontation. You know, call out Adam Gase on his nonsense or challenge a play call. It's only going to make both of you better, especially because Bozo's coming back next year.
Yeah, I don't know about both of making it better, because if that, Sam's usually pretty even keel, and I want to thank our last caller for calling in, but he's very even keel. Rarely do you ever see him like upset. So if that is where the anger's boiling over like that, where he said whatever it was that was not very good back to Gase and he challenged him, maybe again that could be something that where you're getting a look into the locker room. Because if Sam is that upset, can you imagine how other guys that have quicker triggers, how upset they may be? So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily like a great thing to have going on here, because, again, when you look at Gaze's history, his past, he has issues relating to players. He has issues relating to players this year. We talked about it just now. How many guys have come out and already talked about the issues that they have, So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that it's nothing, because if Sam's boiling over and this locker room blows up because of it, we're going to have some real big issues, especially going into next year, because he's going to be here. So I'm hoping that was just, a competitive type thing, because there's a lot of speculation on what was said or what wasn't said. I'm hoping that it's just something competitive that just happened in the heat of the game, and that they're able to kind of move past it and keep it going.
We're going to go to Steve. Steve, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Wanted to get a chance to talk about last night's game. I mean, obviously, we had a 42-21 loss yesterday. And you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to the Baltimore Ravens of what they've done this year. I mean, you've seen the kind of season they've had. They've had an amazing season this year. I mean, Lamar Jackson is just unbelievable this year. The way how he played. He's athletic. He's fast. And, he really, really did burn our Jets' run defense yesterday. But I'm going to give some positives, about this game. I did like the fact that Adam Gase yesterday did use Le'Veon Bell more in this game. I thought the offensive line played pretty decent. I thought Sam Darnold was pretty decent. Jamison Crowder and Robbie Anderson, I thought both had really good games yesterday. I mean, the offense overall I thought was pretty decent. It was just when Darnold threw that interception towards the first half, that kind of really, really did kind of put the nail in the coffin. I mean, now, onto the defensive side of the ball, unfortunately, the Ravens offense just literally was just throwing all over the place in our secondary. I mean, there were just at times, where they had players that were open, as Joe said, Mark Andrews at one point was open, and we were lucky that Lamar Jackson did overthrow him, because if that ball was on the money, Andrews would have been gone. And it's just, the thing was also, too, was, with our defense yesterday, there was at one point on one play last night where, why was Neville Hewitt on Hollywood Brown last night? That play just did not make sense at all, because that's one of your linebackers against their fastest receiver on their team. I mean, Hollywood Brown was their fastest receiver, but the special teams played good too, besides Sam Pickett. I thought the block punt for the touchdown was really nice on that play, but one defensive player I will just say really quickly that I thought played their best last night was James Burgess. He played really good last night. And you know what? And I even give credit to Ty Montgomery and Vincent Smith on the kickoff returns returns last night in the first half, because they actually helped give the Jets some really good field position against the Ravens. That was one positive thing. You know, overall, I thought the Jets played a very hard, fought well game, despite the fact that we lost by 3 touchdowns. I mean, everybody all thought that this was a game that we were going to get blown out in Baltimore because of how so good they've been. But there were times where we did stay in this game. It was just, at the end of the day, Baltimore was just too much, and they were just more of the overpowering team last night. So, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, and listen, Steve, I want to thank you for calling in. You're already bringing the fire as usual, man. But I want to get your thoughts on the penalty calls that we got, and you know, some of the calls that we didn't get, like, you know, that the review that wasn't overturned. Were you confused by those, man?
Yeah, no, I really, really, really was. It was just, to me, on that 4th and 1 play, when Darnold threw the pass to Robbie Anderson in the end zone, and that was right at the just after the 2-minute warning happened. It was just, to me, I really felt that should have been interference because that was contact. And I mean, I know, unfortunately, Gaze couldn't challenge it because it was after 2 minutes by the rule. And the thing is that to me, it's just the pass interference call penalty this year has just not been an issue that happened in last night's game. It's been an issue throughout the whole entire season. Like, it's literally been throughout the whole entire season. I mean, that was something that happened in the other game that we had against Miami just this past Sunday, you know, when we played the Dolphins at home. The thing was, though, even the Jonathan Harrison penalty yesterday did not make sense at all. It didn't make sense because that was a well-designed screenplay. I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand that penalty.
What is your assessment of the offensive line last night?
I mean, I thought the offensive line last night played pretty decent. They weren't perfect last night. They were decent. They had some good moments in the game, but at the same time, it's just like I said, there were just the times when the Ravens defensive line was overpowering.
Were you like surprised the Jets played the way they did last night, or was that what you expected?
No, I was actually really surprised at the way of how they played last night. I mean, honestly, I have to be honest with you two. I was actually really scared going into that game because of how Baltimore's been all this season. I mean, I really, really thought it was going to be like one of the games that Baltimore had early in the season when they blew out Miami the first week of the season, when they scored 59 points against them the first game of the year. I thought it was going to be like one of those games. But, I mean, you know, listen, the Jets actually played a very, very hard-fought game against a really good team. And the thing is, the way how Baltimore was playing this year and the way how they've been all season, I mean, they were honestly playing like a Super Bowl contender last night. And honestly, they deserve to be a Super Bowl contender this year.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Steve. Now, there's a story coming out, you know, Aikman kind of talked a little bit about it, do you think that Le'Veon Bell is loafing at all? Have you seen it? Do you think that he's not giving all his effort when he gets the football in his hands out there?
Absolutely not. And you know what? I think Troy Aikman is an idiot for coming out with something like that. To me,
why is he
to me, I think
if he watches the film and sees that, he's supposed to say the guy's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he would know what he sees.
Yeah, but the thing is though, it's just you know, I guess he's just trying to express his opinion. You know, I mean, when I've been watching Le'Veon this whole entire season, I mean, listen, I know Le'Veon at times, you know, hasn't been getting the holes that he needs to get through, but Le'Veon Bell plays his heart out.
Yeah, but see, it's not when he's running the ball. It was when he runs routes. They said he quits on routes and doesn't run max speed. So it's off the screen a lot of times where he runs off to the side when you're watching the play go somewhere else. So there may be times we don't see that, and Troy could have seen that actually.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, Troy was basically was basically expressing his opinion. You know, whether he said that today or during the game last night. he was just expressing his opinion. I mean, I feel like that Le'Veon is not giving up on plays because I know Le'Veon always plays his heart out every single game when he goes out there. I mean, the thing was also, too, was, from the game yesterday, going back to our special teams, it's just, even at times, I thought, and I really, really thought that we actually, when the special teams did their job and pinning Baltimore down, Baltimore just found a way, to take care of those advantages. I mean, the thing was last night they played in 30-degree weather. It was cold out there in the city of Baltimore. And luckily, the other thing that I was happy about is that no one didn't suffer any major injury, in last night's game. The only one that didn't finish the game was the guy we picked up on the practice squad.
Yeah, and he's out for the year now.
Yeah, with the high ankle sprain. Unfortunately, that's another one, unfortunately, on the injured list. But you know what? One last thing I'll say before you guys cut me off, which is this. You know what? I know a lot of people said that, and I know, and listen, some of the fans are absolutely ridiculous of saying this, of the fact that like, this team sucks, because we lost again. I mean, because, listen, we played against a good team. I mean, listen, I know this season has been another tough season for the Jets. But the thing was, last night, even though after when we did lose this game, and I really, really thought that Adam Gase coached a decent game. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't great. He coached decent. And one thing that I will give Adam Gase credit for, and there is something that I do like what he does better at than what Todd Bowles usually doesn't do, is Adam Gase is aggressive, and he will go for it because he knows that the touchdowns are more important to get in games than the field goals, like especially on that 4th and 1 play when the 2-minute warning hit last night. That is something I do give Gase credit for.
Well, I mean, I'll give him credit to a point, but it's also very easy to do this when you're 5-8. If your team is 9-2 fighting for a playoff spot, will he have that same mindset? And that's the question. Like, he's doing things now that he can get away with because the team sucks and nobody cares. If this game was actually for a playoff spot or you're looking for, any kind of division or whatever else, you wonder if his mindset's going to be the same or if he gets more conservative. So that to me remains to be seen.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you know what? Listen, now since, this game is in the past, now, this Sunday we don't have to worry about our team playing, it's a Sunday off, for the Jets.
Thank
and,
God.
I agree. Thank God it is. We can just enjoy a nice football Sunday, without the Jets this Sunday. And then, we could just, now we just got 2 more games left to go, and we're going to see what happens as these last games go on.
Steve, have a good night, man. Enjoy the games on Sunday.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Good night.
All right. We are going to go to Mr. NYSF Magazine. What's up, Jay?
What's up, guys?
Oh, living this Jets dream, man.
Yeah. Ty, I think I got to say, I'm not like, I'm not on your side on the jersey swapping stuff, but for a different reason than what you're saying, because I think that for me personally, I have a different take on it. It's not that I have a problem with the players swapping jerseys. I know that goes on all the time. These guys collect them and frame them and hang them up on their walls and their man caves and stuff like that. It's I think that's cool. But what bothered me about the whole thing personally was that, like, Sam Darnold was picked in the same draft as Lamar Jackson. He was picked, 3rd in the draft. Lamar went 29th. And what that symbolizes to me, that Jets players are lined up to get, all these Lamar Jackson jerseys that he's handing out like he's at a jersey signing to all the Jets players. To me, it was like, damn, like, we're in year 2 of our quarterback also, and no Ravens are lined up to get Sam Darnold's jersey, and that just shows me, like, the separation between the two of them at this point, and that bothers me as a fan. It's like, I'm not so upset with the players. I got no problem with the players getting the jerseys. It's like, damn, like, we were supposed to have the stud quarterback of that draft, the number 1 guy, and I know the situation is what it is. I'm not mad at Sam Darnold either, but it's like, you guys just got kind of worked over on national TV, and it was bad enough. And then you see that video, and you're like, damn, like, it's reached that point. The Jet players are just like, It's just. But see, again, I don't have a problem with players, but as a fan, I don't want to see that.
It's getting so much attention because it's a primetime game. This happens every Sunday, but nobody sees it because the Jets are either losing or it's just a local broadcast. This is just.
I know, but I've never seen a guy bring like five unworn jerseys. They take the jersey off and swap with one guy. I've never seen it like a collection of jerseys he's handing out. But again, I got no problem with your take on it because I understand that you're more angry at the people that are ripping into the players for doing it. I'm not ripping into the players for doing it. It just really gets to my it hurts my soul. Because I'm like, damn, we were supposed to have the quarterback that everyone wanted the jersey, and and we don't.
But Jay, to be fair, there's
so,
players after the game, but there's players after the game that are going to get Le'Veon Bell's jersey. That's the first guy they go get. All throughout the season, after every game, there's always somebody going up to Le'Veon Bell, getting his jersey, getting it signed. They do it every game.
Yeah, but Le'Veon Bell doesn't have a stack of jerseys, and he's handing them out. Show me when you see Le'Veon Bell have 5 jerseys in his hand, handing them out to the entire team.
Maybe he's got to get one guy on college with.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, again, I think Lamar Jackson, I love Lamar Jackson as a player. I think he's a lot of fun to watch. I had fun watching that game last night. Look, at the end of the day, I just want to have fun watching Jets football, and that was a pretty fun game to watch, and probably more because I was, intrigued by Lamar Jackson, and it was nice to see Sam Darnold make a couple nice passes and, and all that good stuff. But, look, another game that we scored a special teams touchdown that was completely meaningless at the end of the game. I mean, it juiced up. We only really scored 14 points. Missed field goal, of course. Sam Ficken is garbage. It's amazing. It's like again, I keep harping back to the fact that, we had punting competition for our punt god that we have back there that never screws a punt up. We had him having a competition all training camp, and we brought in one damn kicker with no competition. I mean, shame on Joe Douglas and shame on Adam Gase for allowing our kicking situation to get where it is. And the funniest thing about it is, in this offseason, we were stuck between, do we pay, Jason Myers all that money and watch his career go to crap as soon as he signs, because you knew that was inevitably going to happen, right? He's going to that would have happened here, or we could have not signed him, let him walk, and bring in another crappy kicker, because that there was really no other option at this point. We were just going to be unhappy with our kicking situation no matter what. But I guess in this case, at least we don't have some expensive kicker going forward, and we can kind of hopefully reset that position and find an actual reliable kicker. I can't watch that guy kick anymore. Garbage.
Yeah. And Jay, I want to thank you for calling in. And speaking of resetting positions, we're going to have to make some decisions coming forward with Robbie Anderson. He played really solidly in this game, and he's had a couple of good games as well as of late. So what are your thoughts on the way that he played in this game, and do you think the Jets will be able to retain him or re-sign him?
Well, the question is, does Robbie want to re-sign here? I don't know, if you're Robbie Anderson, I mean, that guy's, now he's going to have options, and he's from Florida. Miami's going to have a lot of money. I could see him coming down to Miami next year. And if he wants to get paid, he'll get paid. And if he wants to win, then he could do that also. I mean, he could get paid by somebody else, and he could take a little less and go somewhere if he wants to win ball games. But maybe he has a place in his heart for the Jets because they took a chance on him as an undrafted free agent, and maybe he wants to sign here. But if you can get him at a reasonable price, yeah, you got to get him because, look, we have some money this offseason. I don't have a ton like we had last offseason, but we have some money, and if you don't re-sign him, you have to replace him. And we already have to get a number one anyway. He's not a number one. You can't give him number one money. But if you can get him for $10 million, $9 million, somewhere in that range, a year, listen, if you have Sam Darnold, and you have him coming into year 3 and you strip Robbie Anderson away, then you better figure out a way to replace that guy because he needs a deep threat. I mean, Robbie's been, you look at the way he's played the last few weeks and look at the way Sam's played. I mean, I thought Sam played pretty well last night, honestly. I mean, he had one bad pass, but he was in an near impossible spot with that offensive line, with that coaching and that, against that team. I think all things considered, he played pretty damn well. He threw some nice passes. So, but you can't just strip his weapons from him like that. We made that mistake before. We did that to Mark Sanchez, and look what happened. Mark Sanchez was developing chemistry with those guys he was around for the first couple of years, and he had chemistry with Braylon, chemistry with those guys, and then they just split that whole that whole wide receiving core apart, and gave him guys that just were garbage. And a couple of years later he's gone. So I don't want to make that same mistake with Sam Darnold. I would like to bring Robbie Anderson back on a reasonable deal, but the question is, does Robbie want to be back? I don't know.
What are your thoughts on Troy Aikman's comments?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really 1,000% with Joe on that one. Why all of a sudden? Listen, these guys, these media guys, anytime you see 5 or 6 of them come out with the same story at the same time out of nowhere, you can pretty much assume that it's some kind of PR crap. I'm so sick of the New York media. I'm so sick of Brian Costello and Connor Hughes all of a sudden. Connor Hughes used to be a good writer, but
Troy Aikman doesn't care. Troy Aikman doesn't have it. But he doesn't care less about the New York media. He's got no agenda.
You don't know who his friends are. You don't know who he, behind the scenes, who he's talking to, agents, who's putting him up to saying some stuff like that. Who knows? I'm just very skeptical of any of it. All of a sudden now, Le'Veon Bell's not a team player. The guy all year who is, stick with us, we're going to get it together. I loved it. The guy grew up a Jets fan. Stick with us, we're going to get it together. I'm here for the long term. I'm very happy I'm here. It's all he's been saying all year. Throughout crappy game plans and him not getting the ball. I don't care if I don't get the ball. I just want to do what I have to do to help the team win. That's what he's been saying all year. That's the way he's been acting. On social media, the Jets have been putting him out there nonstop. All of a sudden, now he's going to stop playing in the middle of the year? I don't buy it, man. I just don't. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. But I'm not buying it. Anything that I'm reading, if I don't see it with my eyes at this point, I'm not believing it. So the media can write all the damn stories they want, but if I'm not seeing it, I'm not believing it. I mean, you guys are right, though. Troy Aikman's a star. It's not that if Troy Aikman talks, he commands respect, but I don't know, man. Where's that been? I'm with Joe. Where's that been all year? All year, nobody said anything about him loafing. Now, all of a sudden, 7 guys are saying it at once. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, Jay, I'm just, again, I respect Troy, and I respect all the other guys that are saying it. The NFL guys, Troy, great player, but I'm just a little skeptical here. Just a little weirded out there. All of a sudden now, there's issues with Le'Veon Bell, and we're talking about his effort, and now just last week we were bashing him, making insinuations that he'd rather be bowling than actually playing football.
Dude,
I don't know what's going on here.
People actually brought up in that article, did you see how despicable that was? People are like, and there was alcohol on the table. Nobody knows if he was drinking alcohol, but there happened to be alcohol on the table, so we just need to put that into the story. Dude, he was with the whole family. So what if 5 people in his crew that was bowling got a couple Bud Lights all of a sudden, and he didn't drink? Even if he did have a Bud Light, whatever, but if he's sitting there bowling and everyone's like, oh, you got to bring up that there was liquor on the table? That's so offensive to me, man. I'm sorry. If you didn't see him drinking, you don't need to put that into the story. That's crazy. Oh, he happened to be in a place that had beer. He was in a bar. No, he wasn't. He was in a bowling alley. But of course there was alcohol around.
Yeah. It's just a little weird. That's all I'm saying. So, Jay, like you said, I'm right there with you. I'm a little skeptical of the timing of all this stuff. But I want to get your thoughts on the penalties that we received in this game, man. What are your thoughts about some of these calls?
I got to say, I'm so happy I'm checked out on this season, because that would have been, if that happened, imagine if that was week 2 of the season this year, and we were playing the Ravens on national TV, and that punt that hit off the dude's shoulder and then his foot clearly, that everybody in the booth saw, that Riveron or whatever that clown's name is that comes on the official, he comes on and he's telling what he saw, and it hit the foot and the shoulder, and then all of a sudden, for some reason in New York, they can't see that. I mean, the game was basically a foregone conclusion at that point. But if you're gonna have replay be a part of football, and you're gonna actually go to the replay and you're gonna look at that, and everyone in the world can see that it happened, that it hit his foot and his shoulder, and then you say that that's not conclusive evidence. I mean, what are we doing here? But one of my biggest problems with football right now, man, you don't even know, you want to watch the game. We've been watching this game. I've been watching it for 40 years. You guys, around the same age, but watching it about the same, all of us, our whole lives. We know the rules of football at this point. And when everybody sees something one way and then they tell you it's not that way, it's like, well, what am I watching? So they're just doing damage to the sport, man. It's the constant penalties, the penalty on Harrison. I mean, dude, what? It's crazy. It makes you think the game's fixed. It's very difficult to understand how these refs and this replay crap can go on like this. and how much more fans are going to take it. I mean, it's just crazy.
But
again, it didn't hurt it,
especially with
I just didn't really care that much.
But the same thing, I was thinking the same thing though, like the emergence of FanDuel and all these billions of dollars being bet, and the officiating is as bad as it's ever been. Like it's been ludicrous. Like you can literally watch a ball. Like I thought for sure that was a fumble. Like I thought the ball hit the guy. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, it's our ball. Like you literally see it, and like, no, it didn't happen. Or it's like, well, then, or like the pass interference, like there has to be intent. Like we just saw it last week. We just saw the call last week. And now this week it's not a call.
Yep.
It's like it's so inconsistent, and it almost makes you wonder at times. What I was trying to tell like a friend of mine was like, listen, if you brought somebody new into our country and said, I'm going to explain to you the game of football, it's almost impossible to explain the rules. It's impossible. You can never do it.
Crazy.
They'll never. Think about it, Jay. We've been watching this game 20, 30, 40 years, and I don't understand it. Like, how do you explain it to a young kid or somebody else? It's impossible to do.
It's just through time. It's like anything that, you got to just keep seeing. And then once you see something new, then you know it in the back of your head. But the problem is, nowadays, you'll see something new, you'll be like, oh, all right, that's the rule. And then the next time it happens, then it's not the rule. And it's like, you don't even know what you're watching. And then besides that, like you said about FanDuel and everything, it's like, you know what? You saw this stuff with Donahue, whatever that guy's name was in the NBA.
Yep.
It was, Tank. And,
Yep.
Look, these guys are humans, and they don't make that much money, these officials, and, some of them get themselves into financial situations. What stops it? They have so much power over these games. Like, one call, most of these games are played within 3-4 points. You take a score off the board, for a holding penalty that nobody can dispute. I called a holding, something like that. Whatever, that play on Harrison, like, who knows? So, it's like, it's
Dude, the one touchdown
it's
for
a
the
slippery
Ravens.
Slope, man.
The Ravens scored
it's
a touchdown.
hard to not think that way
I
sometimes.
turn away, right? The Ravens scored a touchdown.
Later,
you turn
yeah.
away, all of a sudden, like, wait a minute. Like, what happened? Like, where'd that flag just come from? Like, it came out of, like, the sky.
Yep.
I'm like, what just happened?
Nowhere.
Like, it's insane.
The funniest thing was they ran basically they got the same exact they got the touchdown pass back from through to Andrews again. You knew they were like, no, we're not taking those points off the board. Yeah, for fantasy that would never happen to me if I had Lamar or if I had Mark Andrews on my team. That would never happen. That I would get that taken away, but I would never get it back. And this has never happened. Not for me. I would be going against that person that had both of them at the same time. So some crap like that.
Well, Jay, look at the bright
side,
side,
man. Tough, man. You know what?
You got a Sunday, a stress-free Sunday.
Yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing. That's the good thing about these Thursdays is it gives you the whole weekend to go and enjoy yourself. Man, I cannot wait. I never say this because I look forward to football, when it's not around. But damn, I can't wait till the season's over. I can't wait till the season's over. And frankly, the way I feel right now, I can't wait till next season's over because I know that Gase will be fired after next season, and he probably won't be fired after this season. So we have another year of this crap to hold on to. So I cannot wait until 2021, man, until we can actually have, some excitement around here again. That's the way I feel right now.
Jay, thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Have a good night.
That's true, though, man. You sit there, you're just like, oh, like, it's true. Like, you look at it, you're like, all right, you just want to get through the season. It's not really enjoyable. And then it's like you go through the off season. You can go through all the free agency, the draft. You're like, if you still have the same coach, you're like, oh man, like it's not. And Joe, can we do a request? I want to do a request to the New York Jets. Like, I know they probably have blocked us and tuned us out probably about 5 months ago, but I'm pretty sure we've lost our privilege access. I'm pretty sure of that at this point. But can they please, Joe, just for 2 weeks, just for the holidays? Please, I beg of them, stop showing season ticket commercials. Can they do that for 2 weeks? Let's stop embarrassing ourselves. I mean, dude, come on. You got to see these commercials here, dude. They're embarrassing. You're like, dude, like you think they're like a 11-2 team or something like that with all these highlights and be there, enjoy the experience. I'm like, enjoy the experience. The game is 42-21. I got another 20 minutes of this crap, and you're showing me these goddamn commercials. Dude, they show during the game. They show them during the game, dude. They're down by 21 points, and then next thing, like, you're already annoyed. It's like, oh, buy your season tickets now. And if you give us the best thing is, if you give your deposit now, we'll give you a free football. I was like, seriously? I was like, get off my TV.
Well, Look, first off, shout out to Jay. I want to thank him for calling in. I always love talking to him. You know, they're just trying their best to sell these tickets. We know that there's going to be some issues, possibly, them filling those seats. We've always had issues filling those seats at the stadium, but they're just trying their best. You know, I respect those people over there. I respect the ticket people. They have a job to do, so I get it. But, you know, it kind of is what it is.
You got to be self-aware of how you handle yourself in the marketplace. See, Joe, we've given them so many marketing lessons over the years, and they don't listen to us. But if they would have sold the same old Jets shirt, they could probably make millions of dollars off of that. But they refuse to do that. But, I mean, listen, just tickets. It's a terrible idea. It's a bad optic. It's a bad optic.
Dude, do you really expect
about bad optics? You're worried about bad optics. People are worried about getting an autograph at the game. They're worried about an autograph of Lamar Jackson. A bad optic is trying to sell tickets when you're getting blown out week in and week out. That's a bad optic.
Well, you know, we've seen them do similar things in other games where we've gotten blown out. But I mean, come on, same old Jets shirts. They're not going to sell those. Like, you know, look. Like
they make millions.
Those people over there, they have a job to do. I get it. You know, yes, we're in a tough spot. We're getting beat really badly. You know, you put that out, you're going to get some issues, pushbacks from the fan. But they're just trying to sell tickets when they have eyes on them, whether it be good or bad.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go to Tyrone. What's up, man?
What up, fellas? What's going on, man?
Oh,
Sitting here watching the JMU game. My cousin played for JMU, so I'm watching them. He actually just got hurt, man,
But James Madison?
But, yeah. Yeah, Trey Wilson, number 69. That's my little cousin, man, yeah. Well, I can say little cousin. You're a big dude. But, I'm going to say this right here, bro. Real talk, man. I ain't even going to cuss because I ain't even that mad. I was actually happy with the game. My problem is, and I've been saying this forever, and, you know, when they trade Le'Veon, wherever he goes, it's going to be my second team, man. Because I'm tired of this, bro. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like, you know, and watching Sam get frustrated like that was so beautiful to me because it just shows what kind of ass Gates is. And for our ownership, man, not to see what this man is doing is tragic. But, you know, and people were saying about the guys getting the jerseys, man. These guys on social media, they probably hit him up like, yo, LJ, man, let me get your jersey after the game. That's probably why he had 5 jerseys. I mean, the guy, they respect him, man. He just made history, bro. He's a leading Russian, he's a leading Russian quarterback in the NFL. He just passed Michael Vick, where all these kids grew up loving Michael Vick. You know how good it is for, like, when Kobe beat Mike, you know what I mean? That's how you equate that. So you're going to give that kind of love and respect to that, man. That's paying homage. It's not disrespectful in any way. And that's the problem with this league, man. Everything got to be disrespectful. But you don't disrespect when the Patriots get caught cheating. Y'all don't care about that. You make up all kinds of stuff when Belichick goes on TV and be a straight ass. You don't say anything about that, you know. Like I said, man, and as for the Le'Veon Bell comments, man, you know, like, I looked at that right as soon as he said that. I said, is he cutting the show? I'm not trying to be funny, man. That man's been nothing but a team player, man. And to try to begrudge this man or run this man's name through the mud, it just shows a lack of intelligence or articulate. Or how about Troy? Why don't you worry about them whack ass Cowboys, bro? Why don't you worry about them? Why don't you worry about a team that we beat? And we are an awful football team, and we beat. You know what I'm saying? The reason you ain't gonna get a job in Dallas because the owner's ass, just like the one we have too. That's the problem, man. And it's such a joke, man. That, you know, to take shots. But Sam played well last night. And the funny thing about it is, if you ever get this man in office, this kid is 22 years. You guys have been saying it for all season long, all last season. The kid is 22 years old, bro. The kid played a great defense and held his own last night. Now, imagine him having an offensive line that could block for a running back that could get you yards. Or imagine having another receiver. You know, and to let Robbie walk out the building, it'll be a mistake. See, you listen, you fix nothing by subtraction in this situation when you're a bad football team. You don't fix nothing by trading Jamal Adams. Yeah, I understand he's a luxury at this moment, but he's kind of luxury you need. You don't fix it. You're not going to fix the team by trading Le'Veon. What are you going to do? You're going to go draft the running back that's going to give you 1.5 yards to carry because you know what I'm saying? It's Gase, man. This guy wants to change everything, but he hasn't won anything. He won because he had Peyton Manning. You didn't win. You had the best quarterback probably since Brady to play in this league. Bro, it wasn't that hard. Like, people always say this about Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson was a good coach, bro. Who couldn't coach Jordan and Pippen? Who couldn't coach Shaq and Kobe? Hey, look, man, we down by 2. What we gonna do? Let's get the ball to Mike. I think that might work. Come on, bro. It's retarded. You know what I'm saying? So to say that Gates is a offensive, what has he done to prove that he's a good head coach? Okay, he may be a decent coordinator. What has he done to show you this year to bring this man back is going to make this team better? And they can show Tyson. I hope they show every video of tickets this year because ain't nobody buying them, bro. How you gonna sell this bad dream, bro? It's like wetting your bed, bro, waking up like, yo, who did this? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, Tyrone, I want to thank you for calling in, and I wish your cousin a speedy recovery, man. I hope he gets back out there and continues to be able to play ball. You know, I love basketball, so you know that's my thing. So I hope football. Sorry. Football. I hope he's good to go and gets back out there and is able to play. But man, let me tell you something. I hear what you're saying. You know, Gaze has been tough to watch him and some of the things he's got going on. But some of the things you touched on with Robbie as well, I think, you know, I'm a little worried about, especially coming into this offseason. You look at free agency. This guy's going to have options. I mean, what is the max kind of deal that you would give him?
I mean, you know, real talk, Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we already going to lose Robbie. I think because, listen, this is the funny part about our team. People are going to say that we're a bad football team, but I guarantee you somebody's going to give Robbie $11 to $12 million a year and make him a winner. He'll go to the Saints, or he'll go, you know what, he might even go to New England. We need another quarterback, but he'll go to the Saints. Or you know what, he'll go to Baltimore. He'll go to Philly. They'll give him that kind of money because they know a player like him they can win with. See, our organization doesn't understand that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to overpay. Listen, you got a guy that wants to be here. Give the guy a fair contract. You know, I'm talking about maybe $10 million a year, maybe 11. That would probably, maybe 12, whatever it took to keep him. Because if you remove Robbie, you're going to have the problems we had before. Sam not having great targets. You know what I'm saying? He has a rapport with Robbie. And imagine Robbie, Crowder, and a number one, or not even number one, but a solid number two to go with that can stay healthy. That gives you more of an option. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the guy like Smith. And the other guy, the guy we brought up the practice squad, he got hurt last night. He's out for the season. Did you see that? And it's retarded.
Yep.
So you can't, you can't do that without replacing that. You know what I'm saying? You get Herndon back next year. You fix your offensive line, and you give Sam a chance with a coach that can teach or that can come up with an offensive scheme. Gates' problem is he thinks he's too smart for everyone else, and he's the dumbest guy in the room, man. Listen, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to find you a new circle because you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to grow like that. That's Gates' problem. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the building, and he's not. Bro, he has a plethora of coaches that he could go to come up with an amazing game plan. His problem is he doesn't want to run the ball. He wants to throw the football. The problem, every team that's winning right now is running the football. That's how you're going to win. That's how championships are won. I don't care what you do during the regular season. If you cannot run the football in the playoffs, you're going to lose. You're not going to be able to pass the ball like that. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to run the football because you have to control the clock at times. You got to run the clock down. You got to get your quarterback in the rhythm. You got to get your defense a break. It's all that stuff factors in. And that's the whole issue we have with this team right now, bro. It's no structure, man. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of being a Jet fan. I mean, and I hate to say that, bro, but I'm tired. I'm sick of losing, bro. Every season is something. Oh, man. Look, bro, I'm looking at mock drafts already. Bro, we got 3 games left. I'm looking at mock drafts. Man, come on, man. It's a joke.
What are your thoughts on the play of James Burgess and Neville Hewitt?
I think they play well for you know. I mean, like, I will give Greg Williams this, and I'm not gonna give Greg Williams, and I'm not gonna knock him for anything because, bro, when I say that man is playing with Band-Aids, bro, that man has to be a coaching genius to have the number 6 defense in the league. And we were number 2, probably number 3 against the rush. With the amount of players he's had hurt on defense, to be able to come up with that, them two have played well. Because thinking they were going to be our backups. You know what I'm saying? These guys didn't really expect to count on these guys, so they played well. My problem is, and like I said before, the problem we have is coverage. I had a serious problem with the coverage last night. You know, and me and my man Robbie Jersey, L7 in the building. Yo, me and Robbie been going at it over Bless Austin. Everyone thinks that he needs time. No, he's getting burned. These cornerbacks are getting burned. But what Neville Hewitt embarrassed last night bothered me. Why are these guys covering that deep? It just wasn't going to work. They can't cover sideline to sideline. They're getting beat on deep passes. So that's what bothered me the most with them. But as for run defense, they played amazing. They played amazing all season. You know, as Strusky Neville, I'm telling you, he's probably next to Jamal on defense, man. He's probably next to the non-MVP, bro. He's played lights out all season. They're great against the run. It's just in pass coverage they're vulnerable, and that's the issue right there. Guys are getting killed.
Yeah, no, they are, and they're they're playing out of position. I think they're getting confused. How would you assess Marcus May this year?
You know, this is what kills me. And Joe, I'm gonna give you mad respect for sticking up for Marcus May last night, bro. 'Cause that's real talk, man. Anybody who knows football, man, to pick on Marcus May, you're stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot. Like, the dude was playing out of position last night. You know what I'm saying? They had him playing last night. They had him playing the Jamal position last night. That was number one, which he hasn't done all season long. You know what I'm saying? You know, he gave up a big touchdown. He did, bro. But, you know, like I said, overall, with the question you asked, overall all season, bro, he's been great. He's been great. You imagine him and Jamal and two, you know, reliable corners. They're going to be shutdown corners. Just two reliable corners. Imagine how good the defense could have been. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I'm not really into the coulda, woulda, shouldas, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to knock that man. That man's played his tail off. And the one thing anybody's talking about, the dude's been healthy all season long. He's been healthy all season long. So he's played well.
Yep. Yeah, Tyrone, that was a great point. I wasn't even going to talk about, you know, the healthy stuff. I was going to wait until the season ended, you know, to make sure everything finishes off, because a big knock that people had on him was he's never healthy. He never plays a full season. He only missed one season since he's been here, a piece of one season since he's been here, and everybody was just trying to get all over this guy. He's been healthy so far. And honestly, what he's been asked to do in this scheme this year, you know, he's doing what they tell him to do. This guy's been told to play 40 yards off the line and just make sure that nobody gets behind him. Like you said, if you have him back there with covering everybody, when you have him back there, if they go get two decent corners next season, dude, he's going to light it up again like he did his rookie year, like we saw him out there being able to make plays, because there's more things they'll be able to do with him in the scheme. You know, you look at what he's been asked to do, man, it's crazy. He's so far away from the ball, and he's still being able to make plays. Now, I will say, I was upset with the touchdown that he gave up, because I know that Marcus is a great player, you know, and I always want to see guys that, you know, that are my favorites on the team. You'll never have anything, you know, slip past him or nothing like that, but he played great in this game. And people, I just want to target him. Go ahead.
But no, Joe. But if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, he's playing out of position. You know, and that's the whole thing about it is, you know, you know, people don't understand this. I think that if Greg Williams comes back next year, if he doesn't get a coaching job, I think he would definitely be better at keeping a system like that again. But the thing about it is you're asking this man to fix. To be the safety valve for the lack of corners we have. That's the problem. Yep. You know, not only must you do your job and be the last line of defense, but you also have to cover for our corners. You know what I'm saying? That's very difficult to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we have zero pass rush. You know, I mean, you know, some of the best corners in the league, you look at Earl Thomas, these guys are getting pressure. These guys can fly over the field because you can do that. And without Marcus May, Jamal wouldn't be able to do what he's able to do because they trust Marcus back there to cover. So, you know, asking him to do multiple positions, bro, like, to me, if, you know, next to Jamal, what Jamal does, you know, he's probably, you know what I'm saying, he's the number one on defense next to Jamal in that secondary, because he has to cover everything. You know what I'm saying? That frees Jamal up to run around and go hit everybody. To me, they should have had old boy playing Jamal and let Marcus stay where he was. Trying to switch them up like that was too difficult. You know what I'm saying? Marcus, he's been good in the run support, but asking him to do what Jamal do, it's impossible. That's why people say, well, we could trade Jamal and get this, brother. You understand? Whatever you give for Jamal Adams is not going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? If you get a first round pick for Jamal Adams, it's not going to be enough. It's not because a player like players like that, bro. They don't you don't see them. You watch a draft. I don't know how many safeties went last year, but I'm probably seeing about 30, maybe 40 safeties got drafted last year, unsigned draft safeties in the last probably 4 years. How many Jamal Adams have you seen? I mean, some of the guys that went to San Diego, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, you haven't seen any other players like that, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Them to be able to do that, them able to be able to do that, bro. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's, you got a point there, but I also understand the other side of that because say if you do trade Jamal Adams, you can get yourself a franchise left tackle, or you can get yourself one of your offensive line positions solidified for these next 10+ years. I think a lot of people would take that. I think it's tough.
No, but Joe, I think at the same time,
Jamal's a great player, but
but Joe, I understand that, Joe, but that comes to drafting. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you get rid of Jamal, you're going to have to replace that on a secondary that already is not good. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to trade Le'Veon as well? Hey, are you telling me trading Le'Veon is worth a third-round pick? You're really going to honestly tell me that's or getting Jamal and maybe getting the offensive lineman? Like, look, we're probably going to have the number 6 through 9th pick in the draft. Bad as I want a receiver, bad as I want a pass rusher, offensive line needs to be what's addressed. Not only in the first, maybe in the second, and maybe again in the third. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You fix that line and you save Sam. But at the same time, if you're trading away every piece that we have, you got to replace that. And you're bringing that in with, okay, we're going to get 2 players. But if you get 2 players that suck, well, how does that help you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And look,
drafted. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and I want to make it clear, I'm not a big proponent on trading, Adams, and I'm damn sure not big on trading Bell either. But I'm just giving the flip side of that because again, the haul that we could get for them, or whatever picks that we can get for either of those players, particularly Jamal Adams, can definitely be used to help build around Sam as well, because that's what it should be all about. But just to kind of move on a little bit, I want to get your thoughts on the special teams and the play of the special teams, the coverage, the punt guys, and also Ficken.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give everybody on special teams, but the kicker, A+. Watching these guys bring the ball out of the end zone and getting 30 yards and 35 and 40. Even Barrios, man, getting them big punt return runs, bro. They were big, bro. They were big plays. That's why I felt like we had some rhythm where we could keep the game a little bit more closer than what it was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think we were going to win, but I just wanted us to compete. Especially since we did that. But flicking, man, I'm telling you, bro, like, it's I'm not, I'm not going to say that I'm extremely, like, just, oh, my God, he's awful, he's horrible, but he's better than what we had. And to say something like that just says a lot, man. But I didn't see giving Myers $15 million because he's thinking it up in Seattle right now, too. So I think what he has done prior to last night, I was okay with. But missing the extra point, missing the field goal, that hurt. That could have been a 10-17 game, new ball game. You feel me? So, or it could have been 10. It would have been 10-17. But then, if Sam would have threw the interception, it would have been 13-17 going into the half. That's a whole different ball game right there. The guys believe in you got some life. You know what I'm saying? So him missing that kick was a big part of the game, and maybe why Gates went for it, which was probably the dumbest thing in the world. You got Le'Veon Bell, bro. You couldn't come up with a better play than rolling Sam out and not blocking the defensive end that's coming rushing at Sam. That's retarded. That play doesn't work, bro. We've seen it all season long. It does not work. How about trying to block that guy? Maybe tell him have a little bit more time. So,
Tyrell, what are you going to do on Sunday, man? You going to enjoy some football?
Man, Tyson, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I already said I'm going to get up, and I told wifey I go to church Sunday, so I'm going to go to church. I'm going to come home, watch a little football. I got to go to Florida next week for work, so I'm going to watch a little football, man, and you know what? Tyson have a stress-free Sunday, because you know what? The Jets will not lose on Sunday, so I'm good.
Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
All right, fellas. Love y'all. Be good, man. What y'all do?
Yes, sir. We'll agree with that. All right, Joe, as we start wrapping things up a little bit here, I mean, it seems like everybody's on the same page with just, like, it's a loss, and, it's just kind of like, all right, on to the next one at this point. You got 2 more tough games.
Yeah.
what's gonna be interesting to see is if any more roster moves are made. You know, I think now you're gonna start seeing the guys where it's like they start getting hurt a little bit more. Like, you know, if you have a hamstring injury now or a back injury now, you're out for the rest of the year. I think a lot of these guys know that. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys fall to that category, especially free agents. And that's where I actually listened to a conversation today. I'm not sure if it was Sirius NFL Radio or it was a different channel, where they were actually talking about that, where players start making business decisions where they're just like, you know what, I'm going to be a free agent, you know, after these next 2 games. If I can get out of these next 2 games healthy, I can get a big payday. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens with anybody, you know, on this team.
Yeah, and I want to thank Tyrone for calling in. It's always great to hear from him. But, yeah, you know, we talked about this a while ago, and I talked about how, you know, you hear from other players talking, you know, former players, talking about how certain times, especially when you're out the playoff chase, you got guys that may be coming up on free agency or guys that want to save themselves for next year, and they'll, you know, kind of check out, you know, and maybe your hamstring hurts a little bit, you know, maybe something else starts to hurt a little bit, and you just can't get out there on the field, you know, so we'll see how that works. I also want to see how certain guys finish the season, you know, certain guys that we still kind of have questions about. Would they finish strong? You know, what happens going forward? Sam, I think, is one of those guys we're looking to see finish strong as well and see if there's something that we can continue to build on going into next year, and hopefully he carries that momentum into it. So, you know, there's going to be some games coming up where we're going to see what we got left, and we'll see if also Adam Gase can keep these guys' heads in the game as well. You know, are they going to quit on him, or will they check out on him? You know, what will he do if need be? So we'll see what happens.
And the most important point or question for you is, who do you have in the main event tomorrow night? Do you have Usman or Covington?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I have Usman big time. I want to see Usman just smash Covington. I'm telling you, I don't think there's anybody else that wants to see Usman smash him more than me. I am so tired of Covington. Look, I respect his abilities and everything. You know, he's got relentless pressure, but I'm telling you, Usman is that dude. I liked him. I like, you know, when he was making his run, doing his thing out there, fighting hard. If he can get that to the ground and turn it into a dirty fight, I think, you know, it really is going to benefit him. So I'm hoping that Usman handles business and takes care of it.
And what about Holloway and Volkanovski? That's a hell of a fight, too.
That is, too. I like Holloway. You know, he's a scrappy dude, so I like him as well. I think Nunes is on that card, too, right?
Yeah, she is. She's fighting Random Man. Yep. Three title fights. Yep.
Yeah, so I like Holloway in that fight, and of course, you know, I got Nunes. I just think she's probably the most dominant female I think we've ever seen in UFC. I think she's way better than Rousey. I think Rousey, you know, had a great ground game, great jiu-jitsu, but she wasn't a complete fighter, and she got away with that for years. But when Nunes stepped into town, it just was over, said and done. She's beat so many girls, and she's beat them badly. I think I would like to see her and Holly Holmes maybe get another shot, because I like Holly as well, and I think Holly, you know, her style and the way that she can fight, she could do something against Nunes. I just think she got caught in a really bad spot and got knocked out the last fight. I take nothing away from Nunes, but I don't know what Holly was doing with the peg leg kick. She should have got out of there. but you know, yeah. So I got Nunes, I got Holloway, and I got Usman. But I'm telling you, I want to see Usman just open up his skull. I'm talking rain down elbows and 12-6. Just handle this dude. I am tired of I'm telling you, I am tired of Covington, man. I'm so tired of that dude. I'm tired of his mouth. I'm tired of him talking. I'm tired of him yibbity yapping, dude. I am over it. 12-6. Handle this dude.
All right, well, as we wrap things up, first of all, on Twitter and Instagram, @TalkJetsRadio. On YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio. And, Joe, it is your time to shine.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth about this football team. Also, leave some feedback. We love hearing about what you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. I'm also on Twitter as well, at YoungJ000, the 3 zeros. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge. I will have my Darnold jersey on. He's playing solidly, all right? And I'll troll you right back. No problems at all. So again, go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back, and we can do that on there. I'm also on YouTube as well at YoungJ00. That's 2 zeros on YouTube, 3 on Twitter. I do videos about the Jets. I'll continue that throughout the season. I also talk about them throughout the offseason as well. I do a weekly pick 'em too, so I talk about other teams on my channel just a little bit. So go ahead and subscribe to my content on there as well. And if you want to troll me on there as well, you can go ahead and do that, and I will troll you right back, no issues. Listen, when you folks see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free. You know, I think I'm gonna have to call Usman on you. You know what I'm saying? I think that Usman needs to pay you a visit as well. You know what I'm saying? Once he's done taking care of business, I think he should come see you and maybe teach you a couple of lessons, man, because you're always trying to get between me and the people. I'm not having that. People, don't listen to the hater that is Roush, okay? When you folks see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone, okay? They will cost you absolutely nothing. The hugs are absolutely free, and they will always remain free. Listen, we want to thank you folks for listening and calling it in. Without you people, we are absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen and call into the show. You folks are the absolute best. And again, everyone, Mark V. Lee Toy Drive, we're still supporting it. It's still going on. Take some toys, give them to your local Jersey City Fire Department. You can also donate money if you'd like to do that as well. You can also donate your time. They take volunteers too. So go ahead and get involved with the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive in any way that you can.
Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your stress-free Sunday. Enjoy the fight Saturday night. Phenomenal card. And we'll talk to everybody on Tuesday.